broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
I love this.
This is a special request by Dan tonight.
I love these songs. It's a circus.
Circus at Sir. Hey,
We're getting
Circus at
special
Sir.
lighting. We're getting special lighting. I enjoy this. This is so fun. If you're only listening, you'll have to go on YouTube and watch us tonight because we got some special lighting. We did a special dance intro there. Hey guys, I'm your host, Megan Stecher. Tonight, well, first of all, you have found the Vanderpump Rules after show here at AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight we're going to be breaking down season 4, episode 7 already, Spit Take. A really juicy episode. A lot happened. I was very happy with this one. I didn't feel like we were stretching out any drama. I felt like let's get to it. Let's not waste any more time. Guys, like I said, I'm your host, Megan Stecher. I am also joined by my lovely co-hosts tonight.
Me?
Do you want to go first? Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
go first. I was like, come on, ladies first.
first.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
So I am Justine. You can find me on Twitter at Justine DiVanna 3 and on Instagram at Let's Face It with Justine.
Oh, well, isn't that nice? Well, you can find me at Dan Babic on Instagram and then at Dan Babic, that's DANBABIC with an underscore on Twitter. And I've got to say, the reason I love Circus so much is because that is the song I always imagine in my head once I'm worldwide famous and I have my interview with Matt Lauer, for the promos. And then you can just see me walking all eyes on me and posing on the red carpet from a small town in Geelong. And just me posing and being on the red carpet. So
Oh my God,
that's my visualization song. So
I feel crazy, and then we sit down, and I'm like, okay, Dan, you take
you
it.
take the cake. Yeah.
Usually everyone, all my friends are like, Justine, you're so crazy, you're allowed this and that. I'm like, Dan, you are taking it to a new level, but that's why I love you. We had fun at the holiday party this
We
week.
Yes.
did, yeah.
So it's Monday, and our holiday party was Saturday night.
Dan was all over the
Dan really
place.
tied one on. I was
Yeah,
like,
I got pissed. I got so drunk. I was saying, because I'm not a big drinker. I don't, because my energy's up here. I don't usually drink. But I was like, I got so drunk because the only difference with me when I get drunk is I just get really horny when I'm drunk. Really, it's really bad. Because I would say I'm almost asexual. I don't like anybody. I don't have any sex drive, hormones at all.
Really?
I'm like,
well, you're very career driven.
I'm
right
career
now.
driven. I don't have time
Yeah.
for that. But then I was like, I got so drunk, and then it came out. The sexual beast came out. I was
Oh my
hitting on all the
gosh.
AfterBuzz hosts. I was trying to get
I actually was
yeah.
good. Sometimes I drink
So
too much,
bad.
and we were good. But that's beyond the point. Let's get to this episode.
Yes, I
Yes.
agree.
Wait,
yes.
wait.
What?
Wait. I thought you were just trying to be nice, but apparently you were just horny. How dare you? I feel
Oh,
used.
that's
I feel
oh,
used.
You were hitting on her?
No.
Maybe I've even got with girls when I'm drunk. Whatever.
It was,
Yeah, I'm like, I'll kiss you. Yeah.
it was a joke, guys. I was just messing.
Oh my God, I
It's
love
okay.
it.
Just a bit of fun. Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
all
gosh.
in good
But
fun.
tonight's episode, Megan.
Well, really quickly, I can't wait to get home and watch What Happens Live because unfortunately we are taping now rather than getting to watch What Happens Live. But James and Lala were on tonight. So I think a lot of crazy stuff went down because Jax tweeted the last 46 minutes ago, I've never in my life seen anyone try and be more relevant in my entire life. What a train wreck. And he tagged Bravo, Andy, and Watch What Happens Live. Kristen
God.
Jody also wrote, oh my God, poor Andy and Watch What Happens Live producers for dealing with this. So I can't wait to get home and see what happened.
See, I don't have cable, so I'm not going to be able to watch it. That's why I'm like,
Ooh, maybe you can get it online. I know you
That's
can
what
watch
I was
the after
thinking.
show on BravoTV.com. Maybe
Yeah. I'm
sign
cheap. I don't
in-
have cable either, but I know how to
Yes,
jig
you
a
need
system.
to get
yeah.
somebody else's. Not that I'm condoning this. You need someone who has cables. Sign in password, and you can watch it that way. Just
But
saying.
I'm thinking about Kristen because we're all team Kristen and all of that, and we think she's changed, she's gone into therapy,
Yeah.
she's a new woman, but obviously she's not if she's getting on the Twitter and she's saying, James, you're a mess and all of that on this show. So I think she hasn't really changed, and that we see her real side on Twitter because she's not very nice on Twitter. It's only on the show we see the good side of Kristen.
I mean, I think we've talked about this before. I think that she's in therapy and she's getting better, but it doesn't just take someone overnight to change, you know, especially if she's been that way her whole life. If she's been kind of crazy her whole life and that's kind of how she is, if she's trying to make herself better and change, I feel like, you know, we all have our slip-ups even if we're trying to change.
What do you think? Do you think she's sincerely changed or just putting it on for the show?
I think I'm a Kristen, and I say tweet whatever you want, doll, and tweet me at Megan Stecher, everybody. Anyway, let's talk about James, because I felt that this episode really did revolve around James. We were in and out of having James in a lot of... and Justine's choking on her water.
Are you right? Do you need like a little bit of like a...
Shouldn't water make you not choke?
If it goes down the wrong pipe...
It's going down the wrong hole, love. Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I'm just choking because this... I'm sorry, that was funny. This episode was just so crazy, so I was choking. Come on, let's make an excuse that I didn't just choke on water.
Also, Justine was about to have a spit take.
I know.
That would be
Good one.
gorgeous.
God,
Good
she
one.
is on point today.
Yes.
She is.
Also, everybody, make sure you listen to the very end of the show because Justine has a major juicy gossip and has gone undercover for us with the cast. This is not a lie. And she is, but we're saving it for news and gossip at the end. So, dissecting this episode, it really was all about James. And we, early on in the episode, get to see him have dinner with his mom, who's gorgeous. And she was a gorgeous young model in the black and white photo we got to see. But didn't she kind of look like Kristen a little bit to you? Like, she's had a little bit of work done. She looked a little bit like Kristen to me.
She did. Kristen with a bit of Botox and like, you know, 20 years down the line. But Mum's hot. I was
here's the thing.
pretty.
She referenced how old she was. She said, I'm 40. You have to realize I'm 45 and I need to live my life.
She's young.
Kristen's 32, according to most bloggy, websitey places. So what's that, a 13-year age difference?
That's like the same. Well, maybe that's not the same as her and James. I can't do math, but basically she's like in the middle.
Right. She's like
That's
halfway
crazy.
between. Nuts. That's a little crazy.
But one thing I did like about the mum, though, is I'm all about the story. And I love the Caitlyn Jenner, and it's never too changed, you know, too short to live the life you want to live. And you can, and I like that at, you know, 45 or 43, however old she is, that she's like, I'm unhappy in my marriage, and I don't have to spend the next half of my life unhappy. So it just really shows that at any point in your life, you can change it and get up and create a new narrative.
Absolutely.
That was what Oprah was talking about this week on Super Soul Sunday, so I had to reference my mama.
You're a super solar.
But, you know,
Love it.
James, too, for, you know, if everyone was watching the show, he was getting super emotional. And what do you guys think about that? Like, do you think that he was, I don't know, do you think it seemed fake or do you think those tears were real?
Yes, I thought this was the most authentic scene we've seen all season so far.
agree.
So I was like, thank God we could at least create the rest of the episode around this one authentic moment. I thought it was amazing that he started crying over his parents. This is sober James. He didn't even want to curse in front of his mom.
Yeah, I keep saying sorry.
Yeah, so I really loved seeing this James versus like drunk James or like out of control fighting James that we keep seeing. That's all. I'm going to leave it there.
I think
What
that...
did you guys think?
No, I definitely thought it was real. I mean, throughout it, I was like, I think we took our headphones off. I was like, oh my God, like, it's so nice to see this part, like this side of James. And, you know, I come from a divorced family, but I was really young. I was in 3rd grade. So, you know, a lot of people are like, oh my God, he's older. He's in his 20s. Like, he should be able to handle it differently. But I've actually heard that if people's... their parents get divorced later, that it's actually harder on them because I think they're so used to their parents being together that it's just like you're getting older and you're trying to form your own relationships, that it makes you kind of lose faith a little.
Because that's funny, because I know it's bad. I thought, oh, do I say this? Do I not? Because I can just imagine, and all the divorced kids will come at me on Twitter. But it's just what I think. So, because I was almost like, oh, get over it a little. Like, sounds bad, but that was just my natural reaction because I was kind of like, get over it a little bit because you guys, he's not with his family. They live in England still.
Well, are
I
your
think
parents
his mom
still
lives
together?
Yeah, my parents are still together. Yeah.
It just depends. I mean, everyone has their own
Yeah.
opinions, you know? It's just, I guess, until you really deal with it, it's one of those things. Like, I think he even said he's like, was confused as to why he cared. He's like, oh, like, you know, a lot of people are like, whatever, but it's really affecting him. And I just think everything affects people differently.
Totally.
I think it would crush me like a death.
They're still together?
Yeah, my parents are still together.
Okay, I'm the odd one out.
See, I'm the opposite. I couldn't give a shit. I'm like, I wish my dad would transition. That would be so like, so chic. Like, how chic would that be?
If my mom transitioned, like, no, that would be like, I'm nothing against transitioning or anything, but that would be weird.
I'd be kind of like, oh, that's cool. We're like the Kardashians.
I don't wish that.
My God.
I don't want that.
No, actually, I would feel too bad for my mum because then it's like it was all a lie. But like, yeah, well, that's my goal in 2016. I want a transgender friend. I don't have a trans friend.
This is so
I'm like, I need one in my life. I love the trans. I love them. Love. I need one in my life.
Dan, you are the epitome of chic over there, doll.
Thank you.
You are
GJ Gorgeous, if you're watching, the really hot transgender one.
She is. Have you seen her? I know this is
I don't know
nothing to do with the
that
show.
is. I'm thinking of the Janet one who Oprah interviewed, who's
I'll
so
show you.
beautiful.
Oh, she's so pretty. I know that's not what it's all
Let's
about. But
while you're looking that up, let's move on to
Yes.
so James kind of goes into Crazy James and fights with Kristen. He goes to pick up his final belongings from her. He goes nuts. He gets very jealous that Kristen and Jax have gone to kickboxing class together or boxing workout class. He can't get over the Jax and Kristen thing. Does anyone have an idea why he hates Jax so much? Like, I don't get it. Like, big deal. They slept together years before you dated him. Big deal.
jealousy.
He's jealous of Jax.
Totally. I reckon he's jealous. You can totally see it because Jax has got more experience with the ladies. He's a young, insecure, skinny man. And he feels insecure. And that's why he needs to get tit-faced and drunk all the time, because someone who is secure with themselves and loves who they are and are happy with themselves doesn't feel the need to get blind drunk every single night of the week. So I think it is #insecurity.
Yeah, I definitely think it's insecurity, but I think Kristen also said in that one scene, she was like, he hates Jax because they like slept together. Like you said, but that's like just, I don't know. Yeah, to me, that's just not enough to hate someone. There's a lot of people you can hate because obviously Jax is not the only person Kristen slept with, but he has this hatred toward him. So it's definitely, he's insecure about it because like Jax is, I mean, I don't think Jax is attractive, but Jax is like, I guess to other people, like, you know, he's more buff, he's bigger, people think he's so hot, and James is a little bit smaller, and I don't know, I definitely agree with you that it's jealousy.
Just quickly, you're looking so pretty tonight. I was just looking
I
at before.
know.
She looks like she looks like a porcelain. I'm just like, I just want to touch her. It's like the Barbie I never had.
I do makeup like little things on my Instagram, so I filmed a holiday look. Check it out. Let's face it with Justine.
Wait, tell me your eye glitter situation going on. It's gorgeous. Is that like a MAC pigment color?
It is. It's their new pigment.
What's it called? It's
The
so
words
pretty.
I forget because
But it's on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
so
on my
everybody
Instagram.
go to her Instagram.
At Let's Face It with Justine. It's long, I know, but we got some matte colors. So yeah, I do a lot of tutorials like that a lot of the time, and that's why I love. I can't talk today. No. From the show.
Lala?
No, she has her own blog.
Oh, Kristen! Katie! Yes.
Sorry, my head today, I'm like, what? Katie, that's why I love Katie, because I like stalk her stuff, and she's all about makeup and fashion, and I'm just like, girl, I
feel like
ya.
Katie's one of those people though. Don't you wish that who she is on Instagram she was in real life? Like, you go to a blog and everything's cool and like over the top and so she looks so glamorous and chic, and then on the show she's just a little bit basic and a bit boring.
Oh my god, Dan.
Well,
She is a bit of an Ariana.
Are you calling her a basic bitch?
I think that she's #not basic, but that's my phone case. But I just think, for LA and the Vanderpump Rules show, I think she's the second most basic. I think Ariana's obviously the most basic.
Well, do you remember last week we had Faith in, and we basically said we think Ariana's boring, and she said that the show completely doesn't show her funny side, that Ariana's probably the funniest one on the show. So just right then and there, that shows like maybe she's not a basic bitch.
Yeah, bring her in. I want to see the funny side. And that's what I like
Let's just have the whole cast just on the table.
Ariana has dope style. They actually showed it a lot more. I want to say seasons 2 and 3. She has like the dopest outfits. But I think when she doesn't get to be on it a lot and show it off a lot, then you really don't get to see it. But I remember seasons 2 and 3 being like so into her style, and I was like, I could never dress like that. Like, where does she come up with these outfits? There was a scene with her and Tom Sandoval shopping at like some cool vintage place. I don't know. It was dope. Check it out.
I love the way you say dope. It's dope. I just want to be American so I can be like, dope. But what did we think of the Toms going to like Lisa Vanderpump and being like, we're serious businessmen now, employ us?
I can't with that scene. It was so well, first of all, it was the best comedy gold I've seen so far this season with Tom Schwartz. I always confuse their last names. I know exactly which one is which, but I always want to confuse.
Which one's the
their
hotter
last
one?
names.
Schwartz is the hotter one.
Schwartz is the hot.
Yeah, I'm off with names today too. I can't even like.
Yeah.
I
So
feel ya.
Schwartz opens their little non-plan with a really succinct sentence. He's like, hey, we just want to be brand ambassadors. We revisited and we think that would be the best way that we could represent this company. And Schwartz gives them the side eye. And he's like, I really wish you would have let me speak first, bro. See what we think is like, I mean, I can't. Who would go to a meeting that unprepared with Lisa Vanderpump? I don't know. I thought this scene was pretty authentic and that they weren't prepared and that they look like a-holes.
They really, truly did. I was just laughing.
Yeah, I always thought Schwartzy was a bit dumb because I think when you're that good looking, I mean, you've got to have sacrifice some brain cells. You can't have it all. But Sandoval, I thought Sandoval was smarter than that. I was disappointed. I thought that he was quite intelligent, but I mean, gotta say.
You know, he does. I've seen a lot of Watch What Happens Live visits that he does where he can't make a sentence.
Dumb as dog shit. Dumb as dog shit.
You know what? When
Stop! You almost made me spit my water again.
Well, I mean, if you're on but if you're a reality star, most of the time we're not too smart, except for Faith. I love Faith, the one that we had in last week. I love her.
She was a real bitch. No, not like a bad bitch. Like she was a real bitch, she was a bitch.
We were freaking out, remember? Because she had like the aura about her. Because usually,
yeah, you were like, you carry the light, sister, or whatever you told her. You were like, you have it. Well, here's the thing: is like you meet them in person, and it's so different than on the show because they are able to be edited into a character on the show, and unfortunately, you don't get to see like a rounded out whole person, or you could be edited into something you really don't feel that you are, even though you said or did those things. You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't have control over what people were seeing of your life, what if they showed like 3 awful things you did today?
Dumb as dog shit, can't stand, fucking hate her, and I don't even know, I probably said something else, and then everyone would be like, he's horrible. And I am a bit horrible, but I just say what I think. Whatever's on my mind, just let it out.
It's kind of like the tone of voice you use when you say it. It makes it better.
Like when he goes, dumb as dog shit. Or no, you say like a couple things all the time, and it's so funny, and I like live for it.
Oh, why? Thank you.
It's like slurry. It sounds like a sweet word, but it means like slut, right?
Yeah. If you don't want to say slut, you call them a slurry. A slurry McFlurry.
Sorry, totally off topic. Really quick. That's Gigi, the transgender.
Oh my God, gorgeous! Looks like Barbie.
Sorry.
No,
like
she's literally perfect.
And where the bloody hell was Scheana tonight? Like she wasn't even in the show.
No, I'm not worried about it.
Well, where's Faye?
I needed a week off from Scheana. No, here's what I was really happy about with Scheana's storyline. The only time we really got to see her tonight was for her to say, we're still looking for the perfect therapist for our issues. And I was like, oh, thank God. We're checking in somewhere for some real help. Was that kind of the impression that you guys got from that statement? I was like, oh, finally. We're not like drug testing our husband at home anymore.
Yeah. I mean...
Yes, check, next. Okay.
Yeah, that's really all I gotta say.
I feel like that's what I need in 2016. I feel like that's the LA things to have a therapist.
Oh my God, I wish I had
I really want one, yeah.
I wish I could afford that
I've been to therapy and it just doesn't really work for me. Because I feel like I could just go talk to my mom or my sister or my friends and then they know me better and they can help me. I know it's like better to have like a professional opinion or like someone that you don't know, but I don't know, to me I was still just as crazy as I am now.
Well, if you don't need it, save your money, girl.
Yeah.
I mean, who said I didn't need it? I need a lot of help.
But can you imagine if I went? Imagine what we'd be doing. I'd be like multiple personality disorder. I'd have like,
Yes.
I think I'm just borderline everything. I'd get like all these diagnosis stuff.
I think you're ADHD, and I honestly, truly am. I have ADHD, but like I think you have like ADHD.
I do. It's next level.
Like
you are next level.
I love when I got diagnosed because I was like, see, like, That was the reason I was fucking dumb at school. That wasn't my fault because I just couldn't focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was always smart.
I know, that's me too. I was terrible. I failed everything. I almost didn't graduate high school, and I'm like, okay, at least I have kind of a reason.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You guys crack me up.
We're like a little,
I know, they're
little
crazy.
duo. We're like the dynamic
Well, that's what you were
duo.
saying the other day. You're like, oh, thank God I've met someone that's more crazy than I am. Like,
Yeah. We move to LA and you meet like your crazy soulmates, and it's so good.
and what do we think tonight about the homeless thing? I love that it's getting like really,
It was
giving
so
back and.
So the Covenant House Youth Dinner they
Yes.
hosted, which I thought was really sweet that they did mention, Scheana mentioned that it was full menu and everything. Like it wasn't like, oh, here's a little set menu of 3 things you can order from and that's it. And she did, they did like the fun little custom non-alcoholic drinks, like the green lemonade and the pink fun, whatever they nicknamed that drink. So
Why couldn't they drink?
Well, I think some people were underage. So it was a
That's all right.
a sober dinner.
Oh no, I guess for the reality show, yeah.
You can't serve people underage in a restaurant unless you're going to get shut down.
Hmm.
But so I thought it was super sweet, and they seemed like the kindest, sweetest people ever, and so grateful to be there. What a good lesson for the staff.
Totally. One was really hot as well. One of the homeless people was like, "Oh, hello."
Yeah, well, I think they're formerly homeless.
Okay.
I think that this
They're
program,
not, like,
this program
legitimately.
now they are living in a group home. They are, provided with clothes, and I think they're learning life skills. I think that's, and they're having some therapy. I think that is what goes on there.
But isn't it amazing? Oh, so you go first. You go
No,
first.
no, I was wondering that is right, that they weren't homeless at the moment, because
Okay.
you were saying that they looked really good, and I'm like, yeah, because if they're on the street, like, I don't know how they would look good, if you're living on the street.
But yeah, because they looked really good. Because being in LA, you've actually heard, like, especially with the hosting world, so many people I know before they made it were homeless.
I mean, it happened. So many people I
Yeah.
work with at my restaurant are like, yeah, I was homeless for a while. Like, they just lived in their car, and they don't think it's a big deal. And I'm like,
I could
holy
never.
cow. Actually, one of our, I wouldn't call her homeless, but one of our alumni from here, from AFTERBUZZ,
Steph Bauer. Yeah.
who's a correspondent for Access Hollywood.
yeah.
You made it, girl. Get it.
Oh, she started here?
She started here, and she and her boyfriend just kind of sold all their crap, bought a crappy van, and just lived in their van for the whole first month or 2 months that they lived in LA. They were just like, forget it, we're going for it. Like, we don't have any money, we're going for it.
Well, you know why I think that happens? I think because the people that didn't come from a lot,
Yeah.
they are like driven, and they're like, I want to make a better life than what I have. I want to make a better, I want to be more than what I was then or what I am now. And then they have more drive, because if you're this is not always the case. If you have a lot of money or you've always had money and stuff's given to you, you don't work as hard because you're just so used to getting things. So you don't realize work ethic. Not all the time, but that's just what it seems. That's what it's just like kind of seemed to me.
Absolutely. I remember when I bought my car, even though it blew up and I don't have it anymore, but I had a scary thought. I was like, oh my God. I remember thinking I had to go there. I thought, okay, if you become homeless, it's okay because you didn't have a roof over your head. Because you've got a car.
Yeah.
And I dead set thought that. I thought if I become homeless, I felt relief when I bought a car because it
too.
was so hard when I first came to LA. And I remember thinking, okay, it'll be all right. You've got a car. So because I always like to go to the end. So I like to think, okay, what's the worst possible thing that would happen? Mm-hmm. So I've even gone there where I've been like, okay, if I was to lose everything, my blazer, everything, I'd be like, would I be okay? Mm-hmm. Am I whole enough? Am I do I, could I get through that? And I know I could if everything went away. So that's why I kind of, oh my God, getting serious
I
there.
know, we're getting so deep.
I know,
oh
we
my
need to
God.
get back to the show.
Let's go back to the show so we don't have to talk about our
fun.
own problems. This is why I
yeah.
love these shows, because I just forget about my own problems.
And
for a while.
your life feels so much better when you watch these trashy reality
Yes!
stars. Yeah, you're like, I'm great.
This
Yeah.
is the best hour of television on TV, FYI. Okay, so we've talked about James's issues tonight. Haven't talked about Kristen. So let's talk about the authenticity or non-authenticity of Kristen and Jax being friends again. So they decide to go have a little boxing at the gym date and talk about their deal, him and Brittany, and are they together or not? And then Kristen says, James is coming over to pick up his things and I would never ever get back together with him. And then they're talking on the phone, and then he's sticking up for Kristen and starting a fight with James on behalf of her. I'm not buying it. I feel like they were put up to this by producers to keep them both on the show. You know what I mean? It's let's keep Kristen in the loop.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay.
Absolutely, because I even saw when when James was just kind of yelling at the palm, he's just like blah 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 blah. I was like, kind of acting there. He just kind of just shouting. You can just see because he was just kind of shouting. And then even I noticed when because I'm a bit of an observer. I love the psychology. I love looking at people. When she was like walking around the apartment and she like cleaned his little spit off the door, and you could see she was acting. She was like for the camera. She was like, I'm going to have to. Because she's not a very good actress, I wouldn't think. You could see she's like, I'm cleaning for the camera now. Yeah, that's how I noticed. Just the body language. You could tell that it was a bit contrived.
I don't know because I know, like from Faith saying, like Jax and James really do hate each other. So I definitely think that the producers were definitely like egging them on, but then once they kind of started, I think they just kept going and it's authentic. Like I think that maybe they wouldn't have gone to the gym and talked about James, but the producers are like, go to the gym and talk about James. And then once they started talking about him, it was all over there. They were really seriously hating him, you know? So I think it was kind of like a both.
Because what would you be prepared to do for a reality show? Because you're the most moral on the panel, you're the most dignified. How far would you go on a reality show?
God, not very.
Yeah.
I think I'd be really chicken about it
Yeah.
because I wouldn't want for the rest of my life.
We were just talking about
like,
this.
I think I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, no, I can make it in a legit way. Like, I don't want to sell out. I think in my 20s, abso-freaking-lutely. Like, I would have made a fool of myself. And I've definitely gone on some reality show auditions here in LA just because I'll have friends that they'll be like, oh, it's a group audition. Like, I need to bring 6 people with me. And
I've never heard of that.
I've auditioned for things that it's like the show like Below Deck on Bravo. So it was like the casting directors were saying it's going to be all of you guys are bartenders and servers and the fun director at a resort, and how do you all really know each other, and what's your favorite thing to do together, and who drinks too much and who really has problems with each other. And so I've been on auditions for reality shows, and I was thinking in my mind, I was going so far as like, gosh, would I really go? Would I really be on it? Sure, yeah. And it's like, no, I wouldn't. Because I just really want to authentically host. I want to go do the work and make it by having a reel. Yeah. And, it's my work that I did here at AFTERBUZZ and stuff I've done red carpets for, and I want to make it in a real way. I don't want to have to go on The Bachelor or on a show and be painted in a certain light that I'm not. Because I say nasty things during the day that you put those all together and in a 5-minute block of TV, and I'm a bitch forever. You know what I mean? So I think for me, no.
We were just talking about this. We were just talking about this because so many people tell me that I should try it for The Bachelor. So many people, because I think it's that they think I'm like fun because I'm kind of like, I'm serious about my job, but like I like to, when I say not take life so seriously, like I don't. I like to, have fun and, live my life, and my dating life sucks. But I've just, I honestly have been, I just don't know. Like sometimes I'm like, yeah, that'd be a cool experience. And sometimes I'm like, no, I want to just do what I do it authentically. We were talking about this before. I'm like, I literally don't know. I don't know what I would do. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it was funny because my dream was always, if someone said, what is your dream? It would be to be cast on Vanderpump Rules. Oh my God, I want to be a Real Housewife of Beverly Hills. But now, I would still do it because I think it's great for your career. And even if you are portrayed in a bad light, you can do the hokey pokey and turn it around.
That's true.
But I don't think I can't act. I can only be myself.
Yeah.
So if reality show, just do you, fine. But I would really struggle being anyone else but myself. I can't do it.
Right.
I can't.
That's the thing is like producer manipulation, I'd be terrible with it. They'd be like, well, so-and-so said this behind your back, so let's have a convo of you confronting her about it. I don't confront people, okay?
Yeah.
I am.
Save that for Dan. Save that for me.
I will
Justine.
run away and lock myself in the bathroom before I confront anybody. Like, it ain't happening.
Well, I had a friend that was on The Bachelor, and she said that it's so like that. I mean, that's why I don't know if I would do it, because the producers would be like, yeah, so-and-so was talking about you. Like, how do you feel about that? Then they throw you in that little room and they say you, and then they ask you on camera, and then you say how you feel. And you could be like, I feel bad even saying this because I don't really know, and then say something nasty, and they'd cut that all out and show you saying something nasty. So.
Right.
this whole reality thing, it's such an iffy thing, because I know so many people that have done so many great things, like from The Bachelor. I'm talking so much about The Bachelor. Ali Fedotowsky, she was on The Bachelor. I don't know if you remember her.
Of course. Then she was on E!
News, and I'm just like, we love
I know.
News, and I'm like, that's amazing, but then you don't want to go do things for the wrong reason. So reality is such an iffy, like, after like doing an after show for it, it puts it in a different light. Like, shit, I
don't mean to cut you off, Dan. I want you to say what you want to say.
No, I'm listening, yeah.
But I wanted to say, I do have, I know someone who's extremely successful in the hosting world, like extremely. And she is on like the biggest of the big shows. And she said to me years ago, go on The Bachelor. And I was like, what? Never. Like, I have a serious boyfriend. I would never. Like, I'm in a committed relationship. And she's like, just do it. I lose every job I ever want to somebody that was on a reality show.
Really?
And I feel like for what we want to do, it's like the quickest way to become a name and get hired.
Done. We're on the Vanderpump Rules up. We're on the real show. Done.
See, I don't know.
Sign us up.
I don't know if you're thinking it's a good idea or not.
No, I think it's a terrible idea. For me personally, if that's the way that your career happens, good for you. And like, more power to you.
It's better than sucking someone's dick, isn't it? Yeah, like, because a lot of people do that. So I would much rather be on a reality show than have to go and like
Is it
blow
figurative?
someone. Like, absolutely, yeah.
Is it figuratively doing that if you go on a reality show?
I think probably, yeah. I think, I was about to say, I think Scheana's back there giving a bit giving a few blowjobs to begin with. But
my God.
she's a married woman now, so she's,
Well, I have a
settled
problem
down.
with that. Like, sleeping your way through the industry. Like, that's exactly, like, I'd rather be on a reality show being myself and getting fucked than, like, fucked over than doing all that shit and then getting fucked over because you slept with everyone.
Do you know who does it apparently? Oh my God, we're so distracted, but I don't care. Will I get a lawsuit? Oh, who cares? Calvin Klein. The real Calvin Klein. Because a lot of my friends are models. And a lot of them have told me that Calvin, in order to get to Calvin Klein campaign, unless you're like a Nick Jonas or a Justin Bieber, Calvin expects that you...
What?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry. Apparently, yeah.
Oh my God.
Allegedly, yes. That's
I'm
what I've heard.
sweating.
Yeah.
That makes
and
me
I went and
nervous.
Googled him because I didn't know what he looked like. I'm like, you alleged dirty old man. I was like,
my.
disgusting. And it happens all the time with models.
Ew.
All the
Oh,
time.
yeah. I mean, that's terrible. Glad I'm not pretty enough to be a model. Okay.
But back to the show.
be
And you are
quiet.
pretty enough. Be quiet. Look at you. Sorry,
wanna get
skinny
to-
as anything.
So we basically talked about everything that
Yeah.
happened. I'm really happy we did have one authentic moment tonight, the
Yeah.
dinner with James
Yes.
and his mom. Nice to see that side of him. But let's go to all of the news and gossip, and then we're going to have a special moment with Justine.
Can we have some news and gossip music? You know, like the projection music.
I love this
TV
sticker. I feel like a real news reporter when I hear that. I'm like,
Like, sorry, guys.
Jax is apparently 1/3 of the ownership of a new restaurant in Ventura, California.
How'd you find this out?
Oh, just a little thing called Google. Just a little, I don't know if you've heard of it. Crap, did I even write down the name of it? I must have. Oh, no, it's called Now Ventura. It's a sports bar that / has Italian food. I don't know. Also, he's brought home his new puppy, Kingsley, with girlfriend Brittany, who he lives with now. Also, okay, James and Lala were on Watch What Happens Live, obviously. We're all going to go home and watch that with a cocktail.
I can't.
Scheana had a fun little magazine shoot over the weekend for Dysfunction magazine. Check it all out. You guys can find photos of that on her Instagram. And OK Magazine, Kristen did an interview with them very recently in the last week and called James and Lala's relationship inauthentic. Justine, being that you were kind of our undercover Vanderpump Rules, I don't know what to call you.
Detective.
Detective,
yes.
She's a detective. Tell us all about your fabulous week. Now, this all kicked off with Fake coming here last week. Tell us what has happened since then.
Okay, so yeah, it's actually crazy how this all happened. This has been the longest week, seriously. Like, I can't believe this is all in this week. So basically, Faith came in and she's so cool. I mean, you guys can even see, like,
Yeah, loved
I
her.
would never, like, just, like, be cool with someone, like, just to be friends with them because they're on a show. Like, no. When we were done filming, she was like, hey, like, I have an event. She knows I'm a makeup artist. And she was like, we have an event this week. And, if you want to do me and Lala's makeup, we're going to be going to so-and-so on Wednesday and Thursday. And I didn't end up doing their makeup because of the time I got off work, and it just didn't work out. We had to be there. But that was the original plan. So I ended up going with them, and well, we met Lala there. So me and Faith went, and first of all, like, she is exactly how she is when you see her here. You haven't seen her on the reality show yet, but she is like the nicest human being I have ever met. It was the Netflix and TV, some kind of event at a club in Hollywood, and I got there, and Lala was there with one of her friends. She is so nice. I really didn't get to talk to her that much because it was a club. It was really, really loud, and she didn't stay that long because I guess she had somewhere else to go and to meet. But she was so nice, and she was like, oh my God, like, I want to come on AfterBuzz. So I'm like, okay, like, you know, maybe we could set that up if she wants to come in. And so that night, oh my God, I feel like a lot happened. So that night, I guess James, it was called Babes in Toyland. It was an event, and I guess it was like all Playmates. I don't know what the hell it was. It was like some charity thing at Avalon in Hollywood. And we were going to go meet up with him, and I was like, I can't believe I'm meeting up with James because I always just say shit about him, and I'm always just like hating on him. And when I got there, he was annihilated. Like, literally, I walk in to the place. No, like, we were outside because he had to come to let us in. He literally, like, went and, like, grabbed me and was like, hey, babe, blah, 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 like, give me a kiss. Literally, like, this was in maybe 0.2 seconds that I met him. He was like, give me a kiss. And I was like, no, like, what? And then he was just like, oh, what? You're not going to kiss me now? And
Like, on the lips, like, not just like on the...
On the lips! And I was like...
what a whore.
I was like, what is going on? Like, I literally... And he kept making fun of me all night because he literally just kept making me saying, what is going on? Because he was acting so insane, I didn't know what was going on. And so he
obviously hasn't seen us on the show and what we've said about, like, what you've said about him, yeah.
Well, what's funny is so basically he was just absolutely hammered to the point, every time I looked over, he was basically with one girl, but he was pretty much with, like, a different girl on top of the bar, making out with her, like, literally, like, back, holding each other, making out hardcore. Like, he was running around like a crazy person.
So the girls were not Lala. These were all different women, not
no,
Lala.
they were, they're all completely different people.
Okay.
Lala, I met at the first club. She went elsewhere. Then me and Faith went and met up with James.
Okay.
So he was just, like, acting like, literally, like, I witnessed with my own eyes, like, crazy, like, what you see him drunk on the show is exactly how he is in real life. He wasn't doing anything mean. Nothing happened where he was, like, mad.
Yeah.
But before we left, he basically told me some really weird things, what he would do to me. Like, literally, it was so weird. And he was just like, you don't know what I would do to you, blah, blah. But he was saying that to so many other girls, so I didn't feel special.
Yeah.
But I was just like, whoa. And so I'm trying to think so that was Wednesday night. Whatever. So he was drunk, and that was my impression of him. I was like, okay, like, there's James for you. So then the next night, me and Faith went to another event, and we met up with, he was DJing at Pump, and we were going to go there for, like, not that long. But by the time we got there, because we were at another event, we go there, James comes out, and he's going to go home. And he's with this platinum blonde, tall girl. I guess she was like 19, but this girl, like, dressed in nothing, just walking with her, gonna take her home and, you know, get with her. And so, like, at first I was just like, oh my God, we met right outside of Pump. And he literally comes up to me and he was like, listen, I am, in his voice, like, listen, I am so sorry. I mean, he was like, I am so incredibly sorry about last night. Like, supposedly I said some really inappropriate things to you. And he was like, he was so sympathetic. I don't think he was just doing that. Like, I really don't, because I was like, are you drunk tonight? He goes, no, I just finished working. He goes, I haven't had anything. He goes, and I just want to let you know how sorry I am. And so I was like, oh my God, this guy's confusing the shit out of me. So the first night I'm like, crazy ass James, I had an opinion. And then he's nice. And so what I have concluded about James, sorry, this is a lot.
No, I'm fascinated.
So what I have concluded about James, to my listeners, viewers, you guys, is that he has a drinking problem.
Yep.
And that he is a completely different person, sober and drunk. So some people are, not that different. He gets mad when he's drunk. He gets angry and crazy. And when he's sober, I'm not saying he's not a douche. Like he was sober and he was gonna go bring this tall, blonde, whatever girl, like hooking up with millions of people. But I think that, you know what I'm saying? I just think that the alcohol is not in his favor, and everyone is seeing that side of him. I only saw him for like 2 minutes, but especially what Faith says, she's like, she knows him really well, you know, and she's seen him upset, especially about, you know, his parents. So that's my conclusion. I still think he's an ass, and I still think that he is out of his mind, but I definitely think that a lot of it is when he's drunk, he does these things.
Because that's what I like about you, Justine. Even though you're starting to get friends with the cast as well.
Not really.
Friendly, you still stay what you think, and then you're not willing to suck up anyone's ass just because, you know, they're on a reality show because I hate that. I think that's the worst.
Well, I'm not planning on, like, I gotta become friends with the Vanderpump cast. Because, you know, people are gonna be sitting there like, oh, she's trying to get friends with the cast. She wants to be on the show. She wants to, like, no, I really truly don't. Yeah. I only hang out with people I like, and I really don't have any interest in, I mean, if James is drunk, I don't have any interest in hanging out with him at all. Faith is completely different, and I'm not, like, dying to be friends with anyone on the show, so. But thank you.
Oh, yeah, I like it. So we've got 1 minute left. So does anyone have any predictions coming up? Predictions?
I think next week's going to be
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I love these songs.
It's a quickie. It's a quickie.
Yeah, quick one. Quick one. Go.
It's going to be a hot mess next week with the Vegas trip. Hot mess. The guys, somebody's going to do something terrible.
Faith was saying something goes down in the next couple weeks, and I don't know what it is.
Good. What do you guys think?
I think breakdown with James. I think it's brewing. I just said alcohol problem. I think it's all going to come out, and I do think he's an alcohol. Oh gosh. Yeah, I think he's an alcoholic, and I think it's going to come out.
Word.
I
don't. Should we go there? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think maybe.
He
perhaps.
maybe.
No. I think it's his age. I think it's binge drinking.
He's so young to tell.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'll take that back.
But no. But I agree with both of you because it's so young to tell. But at the same time, my mom even said, she goes, if you don't have a problem, you don't act like that. Like, that is to a new extreme. So I don't have, like, I used to act really crazy, so I stopped. I don't really drink that much anymore for those reasons. So, you know, I don't know. It's really it's a iffy topic.
I can't diagnose anyone. But let's wrap it up. Any other predictions? Anything?
No, I'm gonna take that comment back. I'm not sure because I don't know anything about alcoholism. But anyway, I'm Dan Babic, so you can find me on the Instagram at Dan Babic, and then on Twitter at DanBabic. With a cute little underscore.
Aw. Well, thanks guys for watching, and I hope that I give you some insight on some dirty little details. And you can find me on Twitter at Justine DiVanna 3, and for Instagram tutorials and makeup, for all you lovely gals out there, you can follow me on Instagram at Let's Face It with Justine.
And you guys can find me, Megan Stecher, across all platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Follow my Snapchat. You can see fun behind-the-scenes stuff here at AfterBuzz. It's all at Megan Stecher, MEGANSTECHER. Thank you so much for joining us for the Vanderpump Rules after show, and we'll see you next week. Dan will be gone.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to Australia.
I know. Merry Christmas, doll.
I know, yeah. I'm going for 2 or 3 weeks to Australia. I don't want to go because I'm from a small ghetto town in Australia, but I love my family, so I've got to go see them for Christmas. So that's that. But see you in 2 or 3 weeks, depending on if I like it. I'll be back in a week, and if I love it, I'll be there for 3. But anyway, we'll see you soon, guys. Woo!
Bye. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.